and excellent acceleration. We've seen that, right? That allows him to outturn, outrun the defenders and make dangerous runs behind the opposition's defense. This is something that we need. Runners behind, His dribbling skills, on the other hand, is a very skillful dribbler. We've seen that when he was training with Manchester United in preseason last year, everyone was saying, "Wow, this kid is mad!" They've never seen anything like that in training. Like, he was blowing people's minds, right? He's got amazing dribbling skills, what I've been told, and he's effortlessly navigate through tight spaces, to take on multiple defenders at the same time. Like, he's got that confidence. He often uses sort of quick changes of direction and close control to maintain possession and create opportunities for the people around him, right? So in terms of his technical abilities, he's got good ball control and a wide range of technical skills. That's in the locker, 100%. He can sort of execute sort of intricate moves such as feints, step overs, tricks. He's a trickster, to beat the opponents and fool. Many times I've seen him just dropping off the shoulder, just going, finting to go right, he goes left. But I think he's left-footed, that's his strongest foot, and he shoots. He's got a lethal precision shoot. If you've seen, let's say, what's his name? Our current Anthony Dos Santos, right? He's got a really good left foot, but this kid, he's not a one-trick pony. He's got many things in his locker. It's very unpredictable, right? That's what people are saying as well.
His right foot is almost as good as his left foot.
Yeah.
He's almost the same as Morten Gams Pedersen. If anyone remember him from Blackburn, he was a right footer original when he was a kid, but when he was 16, his father told him to practice his left foot. And when he played in the Premier League, he played on the left wing. He played with his left foot. So it can be trained even from a young age.
Yeah, 100%. Because when I spoke to a Sunderland fan yesterday, we had a lengthy conversation. He said he's very unpredictable, right? So he likes to play. I took down the notes here, so basically I'm reading from my notes as well what he was saying, because I obviously didn't watch much of Sunderland last year, so I was fortunate to speak to one. So he says his playing style exhibits an element of unpredictably. He's very unpredictable. He often switches off his approach, making it challenging for defenders to anticipate his move and mark him effectively. So his vision and creativity has blown many people away there at Sunderland as well. With the ability to read the game and make incisive passes. So he's a very good passer of the ball. Further on, I noted down that he has a good understanding of space and can provide key assists for his teammates. So he creates opportunities for others, goal scoring ability, which is the last thing that we discussed was, despite primarily being a winger, he said that Diallo has showcased the knack of scoring goals. I don't know. I think he scored, about 15 goals, I think it was. I can't remember really what it was.
For this season?
Yeah, at Sunderland.
No, it was. I think it was 9 goals.
9 goals and 8 assists. So he has
a couple of penalties. So he's not a prolific goal scorer. That's not his main thing.
He's a creator,
right forward. But he has good output for a young guy.
Yeah, but he's got a very powerful shot.
Older, he will be better, as you have seen, for example, with Rashford.
Absolutely. One thing that was discussed as well, that he has got a very powerful shot and comfortable with both feet. So he's a two-footed kind of, but I think I don't know which is his preferred foot, but he's two-footed and comfortable in both feet. So it's nothing worth that. Diallo is still young player, is what you mentioned. He has the potential, but one thing is for sure, that he's not coming back to Sunderland. One thing is for sure, that he's been told that he's going to challenge for a spot in the squad this year. So I'm excited for him. I really want to see what Amad Diallo is all about, and I want to see him, giving a run a chance in Manchester United team. So let me guys know what you think. We bought him for 35 million from Atalanta back ago. So now it's time. He had his development. He's been out on loan. Now it's time to show who you are, because we've seen glimpses. Guys, what do you reckon? What are your thoughts and feelings?
Yeah, for me, I'll go first. I think he's somebody that is very, very exciting and can be a secret weapon for Ten Hag. We've seen Garnacho be the person that we call on from the bench last season, and this time around, it'll be amazing to have the opportunity, even some games where it's Garnacho and Ahmad on different flanks, that would be such a problem, for many fullbacks. For me, it's funny that we're mentioning all these things, and I think for me, the goal that I remember him scoring, I guess not, this was prior to the Sunderland move, was the header. And it was, like, I think it might have been a Bruno Fernandes assist or something like that. But and I think that might be his only senior goal, maybe. I'm not sure. But the main thing is it's exciting to have somebody who's direct and dynamic and can be unpredictable for defenses, and we need that. We need that spark, and Ahmad will be just the right person to bring it.
Right.
The person that that's my take on Ahmad, and I'll pass it on.
Pass it on. Before you pass it on, we have a person in the house. I think this is boring, and best to check to Blue Moon. I'm sorry, Edward. This is a content. It was advertised as the class of 23. I don't know what contents you were expecting, but we're not here to talk about any transfers or any takeovers. This is purely to talk about the academy. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Next.
Yeah, Jay.
Okay, so he burst on the scene with a headed goal against AC Milan under Solskjaer. And after that, I think we were all hoping as a collective that he would get around the side, and unfortunately it didn't happen. Then went to Sunderland. I almost thought that physically he was lacking. He got knocked off the ball often easy, but after a season in the Championship, where I think in the Championship defenders can actually tackle, put in a robust tackle and get away with it, I think he'll come back stronger. If I have the option right now to sell Sancho and have Ahmed as a backup winger to Antony, I'm all for it. But if we keep Sancho, he's still only third string. So how much game time is he going to get? And I respect that you've gone through his attributes. But if he's third choice winger, how much game time is he going to get? Just put it back to you guys.
Yeah, no, true. And it depends on where you're going to put him. If you can put him in the central of the park as well, it can be utilized as a number 10.
He's too small. He's too. I think for the Premiership, he's too small to be in the center of the park. I think he knocked off the ball too easy. His best attributes is the fact that he's 2-footed, something that Antony isn't. So after the left back has Antony's number after 75 minutes, then you spring this chap off the bench. That's
Okay.
what I think.
Pass that on to Jarvis. In that case, if Ahmad is a better right winger, would you then play Antony on as a number 10?
If I would play Antony as a number 10, yeah, he could play as a number 10, but not in the beginning. He has to develop his game first. Playing centrally, you have to be much more aware and tactically astute. That's things that young players develop with the experience. So for me, I think it's too early to play in the 10.
Yep.
But he can play on the right wing. When it comes to Ahmad, Jay makes a good point. We have already two right wingers that's basically better than him, at least more experienced and have more time in the Premier League. So should we keep him? That's a good question.
That's a good headache.
I don't want to be greedy. So for me, I'm very interested in seeing him develop his career and game. So if we can lend him out to a Premier League club next season, I think that will be the best for all parts, and better take him back when Ten Hag has built a better team and a better squad with more resilience, so we don't get hanged out to the wolves, because it's very hard being a young player thrown out at Old Trafford at a young age. If you don't perform, you're in the icebox.
100%. Jay, thank you, is in the house. Good evening, Jay. How are you doing? Better late than never. 100%. But listen, it is a good headache, and by my understanding, he ain't going nowhere. They're not going to loan him back to Sunderland. That's a big no-no. There was a big report out of that. So that means that Ten Hag has big plans for him. So it's a big headache, to be honest, to have at least a Palestri, at least an Ahmad. You have three choices. I don't think that he's planning to keep Sancho unless he's going to utilize Sancho somewhere else. Sancho's on the chopping block list. It's what we discussed. How long is a piece of string? So whatever Ten Hag decides, I support. But at the end of the day, it's a debate to have. It's a beautiful headache, isn't it? Because when was the last time we were crying out for a right winger? That's what we bought. We bought him that as a complementary, because we didn't get Sancho, so we bought Ahmad to develop him, right? Now the development has been done. He's ready. He's ready to attack. So why not? 100%. We will see. Now we're coming to another one. Hey, Facundo Pelestri. Hey, everyone loves Facundo Pelestri. We've seen glimpses of Facundo, right? But according to my opinion, he's a very multitask, multi-skilled, but his biggest position is playing on the right. Again, Jarvis, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I love Facundo Pelestri. He reminds me of Messi. I'm not saying he's as good as Messi, but he reminds me of Messi in the way he plays. His low center of gravity, the way he twists and turn and glides through the defenders. He has something special, that kid. And I can't quite see why Ten Hag doesn't give him more chances. It's the same with him and Diallo. It's their turn to shine, and with a young player, you have to have courage if you are given the chance. That's when it comes to young players, I look at three attributes. For me, that's spatial awareness, it's courage and balance in the 100%. Body. And if they have those three attributes, they can succeed. But yeah.
Jay, what's your thought process on Pelestri? We've seen glimpses of it. Whenever he's come on, he's been instrumental. Similar, like a Garnacho coming off the bench. It's sort of an impact player.
Mick, to be quite frank, I'm actually quite surprised that Pelestri didn't get so much game time last season. I think anytime he's been on the pitch, he has displayed confidence, guile, and the strength of mind to actually make a forward run at the right time. So maybe Ten Hag is seeing something entirely different than what the fans are seeing. I like how much we pay for Pelestri. Was it up on 30 mil? And I just don't believe he's ever gotten a proper run the side. Like Pappy, you alluded to earlier how Sancho was almost like Ten Hag's quasi son, and got so much game time. I don't think the likes of Pelestri have been afforded enough opportunities. I think someone like Pelestri, you play him for 6, 7, 8 games consistently, give him 20 minutes, 25, 30, ultimately give him a full half, and then start him. I think it would be remiss of Ten Hag to not play Pelestri, sit him on the bench for another season, and then sit him on loan. I think it's a talent lost for me.
Yeah. Poppy, what do you reckon? Poppy, you there?
So I think Pelestri deserves to be given a lot more game time. And if I was him, I would have sat down with my agent and said, Ten Hag needs to make sure that he gives me he had an impact as obviously Garnacho has saved us a lot more, but I feel like Pelestri has been given very limited time to develop and very limited time to also just showcase what he can bring to Old Trafford. So next season I would make proper conversation with Ten Hag and say, am I going to be called upon? Can I please showcase what I can do? Because the boy, when he's playing for Uruguay, he's a beast. So we need to let him shine. Unleash the kids, Ten Hag.
Yeah. What happened?
I muted myself. Sorry.
You muted yourself.
No, it was that I was saying that he's been held back, and I feel like he can bring all of a sudden, like what you were saying earlier on, Mick. That right hand side is crowded, and then we haven't even discussed about the other potential.
Yeah, true.
And it's like there's just like it is all of a sudden overcrowded, and I feel like Facundo either send him to Brighton or let the kid have 10 minutes, 15 minutes every other game.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 1 Mm. My personal, opinion, and like, he's a very impressive technical player with agility, like, skillful, versatile winger. He can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can play throughout the middle, throughout the flank with low center of gravity. He floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee, like Muhammad Ali, like, a little bit of a more hard to say, early to say, but a little bit of a Messi-esque kind of thing, like, quick acceleration. We've seen that excellent dribbling ability and close control of the ball, like, how he keeps the ball. It is a little bit like a Messi-esque, hard to take off the ball off his feet, like, but yeah, tactical astute, like, and we've seen glimpses of it. I'm so excited to see more. Like, and overall, I think Palestri, his playing style can be described as kind of like a dynamic and creative winger, but yeah, but we've seen most of it is the wings, but we've seen on this heat map here as well that, or what I call a heat map, but we can see like he can play right winger, can play left winger, second striker, center forward. He's a very versatile player, right? He likes to dribble. There's a lot of things that, if you look at, who scored and all that stuff, there's not much to give because he hasn't had much life as of yet. Only like when you play with the Uruguayan team. So yeah, Jay's back. We lost Jay there. He's eating crisps. So anyway, for me, it's any given Sunday. I want to see him, at least being given a chance, or just sending out a loan, perhaps, because he didn't get a loan. He got injured, by the way, and that's the reason why he stayed in the squad. Cool. Let's move on to the next. And the next person I want to discuss about is somebody that I know little about. Haven't watched much about the youth team plays, but that's Kobbie Mainoo. He was in the squad last year. Didn't get much of a game time, but he's a young talent, very young, local born from Stockport. Original from Ghana. He's born 2005, so he's about 18 years of age. But he's been raved by many United faithfuls that watch him, week in and week out playing, and they're saying he's a beast in the middle. Jarvis, what do you know about Kobbie Mainoo, and is there any case for him to be given a chance in the first team squad this season as a central defender midfielder?
Yeah, for me, I think what I've seen of him, I haven't seen much, to be honest. I saw his debut and he came in and played a little bit. He looked a little bit, I would say he didn't do any errors, but he played on the safe side. He looks a player who's in balance. He has great technique. He's good at moving the ball. But he's young, and especially when you play in that role centrally, you need time, you need experience, you need to play at a high level, but maybe not United. It's not where you start. So I think he's a kid that we maybe should loan out and give him a couple of years to develop his game.
Yeah, because eriktenhag is also saying that Mainoo is a baller, but not a ready player as of yet. So maybe a person that you can send on loan. But so far, we haven't seen anything that's speaking that he will be on the loan. So big up to all of you. Just moving on, Jay, do you know anything about Kobbie Mainoo as a player himself?
Look, the very fact that a chap is 18, I think it's very unfair for anybody to expect a kid of that age come into the engine room of a Premiership team and run the show. I think a kid of 18 playing central mid has to go out and loan to a championship level. I think he's not going to get a chance at least until he's 20. Like a winger, a left back, a right back, they can make small mistakes, but I think mistakes in centre mid are amplified. I think it'd be very unfair of a kid of 18, unless he's world class, to expect to be underside to like the Casemiro. I think that this chap is going to end up being on loan.
Yeah. Some eriktenhag saying loan Mainoo out to Middlesbrough. Carrick will take care of 100%. And Chris Breeze is also saying, basically, we will see more of Kobbie on tour first, and then he will hopefully get some minutes from the bench when we have already got the game soon up, or maybe a loan. Yeah, he's coming. They're playing in Oslo eventually very soon. But I want to bring out something that we keep forgetting, and that is what Eye in the Sky is saying. What happened to if you're good enough, you're old enough, as per Sir Matt Busby and Sir Alex Ferguson. That is true. If you're good enough, you're old enough. That's the thing. So what age has to do with it? If you have talent, we've seen that with Garnacho as well. I have a theory regarding why we haven't seen Palestri, and that's kind of similar effect what you saw with Garnacho. Ten Hag is kind of a protective manager, so he will slowly blade him into the team, right? Until the time is right to say, you're ready. Let's go, son. That's it. Right, guys. Poppy, what's your thoughts and opinions regarding Kobe Mainu?
Yeah, I agree that defensive mid is a very, very. It's not a position you go experiment with, and you can break or make somebody's future or and confidence there, and especially at Man United, it's too big to be experimenting there. But I feel like I saw an image of Eriktenhag talking to Maino. I believe it might have been right after the Carabao Cup or something. He had a very, very it was a very almost emotional but touching conversation to kind of to see through on camera, because Ten Hag, you can see he has plans for Maino, and they talk a lot, and he's trying to make sure that he learns, and he's trying to inspire him to make sure that next time it's going to be you, or something more kind of like, next time you have to be in the squad type of thing. And I think some people may remember those visuals, but that made me feel that okay, it's more than just
Okay.
He disappeared. He got kicked out for some reason. He lost the connection. But anyway, I kind of understood what he was saying. But just want to go to say to Simon Hero, he's saying Ten Hag has to find the balance between winning games and betting in young players. Difficult decision, but it has to be done, according to my opinion. Right. So we want to sort of move on with the show as well, so we don't get stuck on one player. If Papi lost the connection, hopefully we'll come in. If not, it was good to see you. The power. Big up to the VR room. Don't forget to smash and like, especially like the button. And basically, genocide was never good enough. Yeah, we burned him out. I agree. I read the comments before. But listen, I want to go into the Norwegian Wonder Kid, something that you know about, Jarvis, and that is Mr. Isaac Hansen. Isak, yeah.
Isak Hansen.
He's from your neck of the woods, right?
Yeah, his mother club is Tromsø, so it's very far north in Norway. He was playing for the senior side of Tromsø. They are a Premier League side in Norway. They're at second place in the league right now, so they are doing quite good. Isaac came from Tromsø and went to the United Academy. He's small of growth, and he's a little bit skinny, and he looks a little bit uninterested, but he's very imbalanced. He has courage when he plays. He's very technical gifted, and he gets spatial awareness, so he knows what's going on around him every time. And if you combine that with the good technique and good passing abilities, then you have a world-class player. Not yet, but he will be someday, maybe. He reminds me very much of I would say a flair player like Luka Modric. To compare with a Norwegian player, I would probably say it's a little bit like Odegaard. So I think he will be really good, but he's like the other young guys. He's too small of growth and too skinny. He's too lightweight, so it's not the time yet. But I hope he gets the time and improve himself in the preseason and get a loan to a club because playing in the under 21s is not a high enough level for a player like him. He needs to develop his game. So championship or Netherlands or a place like that will be great for a player like him.
Yeah, so basically loaned in is more likely, because I also seen Jan Åge Fjordtoft talking about this youngster and the telling is the next Martin Odegaard, that kind of thing. So yeah, we snapped him up early into the academy. So yeah, I'm just intrigued. We got to learn more about these kids as well. The 10 kids, right? Excellent.
And the thing, he's remind me of Modric or Pirlo in a way, because when he received the ball, it looks like he has all the time in the world, because with his first touch and his body, he just moves away from the players, so he gives himself times all the time when he receives the ball. So he's that kind of player. So I can't wait to see him grow up and become a good player. It's very exciting for me.
Yeah.
Even when he's from Tromsø, my local area.
Yeah, it's interesting to see players grow up. I will add back on Papi because he kind of disappeared. Welcome back, Papi. We just discussed about this young prospect, Isaac Hansen, that is from Norway. Apparently, Jarvis knows a lot about him because he's from his neck of the woods up in northern parts as well. So you reckon he could be a sort of a future star, like, a Pirlo, what he was saying? The pearl of the Pirlo.
I mean, I definitely cannot wait to see him in the preseason tour, because I do not know much about him. I it's exciting to know that we are looking for the top of the what is it, the cream, the creme de la creme. The creme de la creme in Jarvis's part of the world as well. So that's amazing and exciting news. And and he plays in the middle, right? Right.
Mm.
Yeah, right.
No, we need to make sure that we're thinking of hopefully we find our own Lavia, our own Caicedo, our own, like, we need to, how long is it going to take? Can we not just germinate our own and develop our own? So yeah, I can't wait for a proper midfielder to come out of Carrington.
Excellent. Well, first things first, we got to get some midfielders out as well. Scott McTominay, apparently they're looking for a new club. Where will he be going? I don't know. They're talking about Aston Villa, they're talking about Newcastle, Brighton potentially.
Yeah.
But this needs to be happen to make way for the youngsters as well, like the future as well. Which leads us to the next player as well that I want to cover before we close the shop. We cannot cover them all, but we're talking about Tayden Mengi. Tayden Mengi, our center back, right? This guy, everyone is talking about, from the Manchester area. Angolan kid, 21 years of age. So he's not young, 18, 19. He's 21. He's blossoming. Is there a potential that if we missed out on Kim Min-jae, would you see him now, if we ship off Harry Maguire, that he will be given the chance? Jay?
Okay, Mengi, I'm going to finish on this. Maguire, fifth choice centre back. This kid is 21? So at 21, 22, a player should be making at least 15, 20 appearances a season in a Premiership side if they want to play at that level for the rest of their career. So right now, I see Harry Maguire as nothing more as a block keeping Mengi out of that position as fifth choice. So the question is then, guys, do we need to go and sign a fifth choice centre back if someone like Mengi is already there? And that being said, if Mengi doesn't break through this season, then I would argue he's never going to break through and be a Man United player. And thirdly, as we know, Lindelof is injury prone. Varane is more certainly injury prone. Martinez is back from injury. And how many times a season do we have to play Luke Shaw as left centre back? So the time is now for Mengi. It's a case of this season or never for him.
True. It's like what Chris Priest is saying. Guys, please remember this name of the future. Shea Lacey. He's in the academy now, but he will be in the future star. We don't have Shea Lacey, Chris, but we're talking about Tayden Mengi. Now, I want to turn the attention to you, Jarvis, as well, since, I don't want Tayden Mengi to be a kind of another Tuan Sebe, for instance. Like, we've seen glimpses of Tuan Sebe. I all remember the PSG game. Everyone was saying he's the next centre back, blah, 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 but he was way too injury prone. But Tayden Mengi, I mean, I believe that the club has kind of slowly embedded him in with the team, do you think that this year will be his chance?
Mengi, as Jay was mentioning, he should be like fifth choice, fourth choice center back. And in my opinion, if he can't reserve that fifth choice center back for an academy up and coming star player, what's the point having an academy? In my mind, that's the biggest problem with our academy at the moment. We have produced so many good players, but we doesn't seem to have a plan for them. We have no plan.
Yeah.
Why are we lending out Ahmad? Why are we sending Pilestri to Spain and back? And because it doesn't seem like we are having any plan. We're not like embedding them when they come back, and we reserve a spot for them to be the understudy for the star or something. We have no plan, and that's the problem with our academy players at the moment, as I see it.
I'm going to quote Mr. Shaktak here. He's 21 already and hasn't broken through at all. He's great talent and potential, but we cannot just rely on him for at all. But that's the thing, it depends on who was the manager before. But now it's either make it or break it right now. And there's something that we also keep in mind, that we need to have that homegrown talent as well within the squad. Remember, you got to have at least 8 players in the squad of the age of 21 and upwards, at least 8 players within that squad. So that probably is a reason why they're keeping him this year within the squad as well. I don't see them loaning him out. I see him that potentially, if we get lucky to loan out, or at least sell Maguire out to Roma, whatever, just ship him off. Give the youth a chance. Give Teddy a chance, right?
I agree.
We already have a strong defense. If Varane cannot play every single game, you need a rotational player, luckily we have the butcher, Lisha. But if Lisha is injured, we have the coverage of what we've seen with inverted Luke Shaw as well, right? And we're going to cover the next play as well, which for me is very, very interesting. And it's Alvaro. Guys, let me know what you think. Smash a like for Teddy Mengi. I certainly believe that Teddy Mengi should have a chance this season. If not, decide him, sell him off, because you're 21. It is your time to shine right now. So he's no longer like a junior player. For me, that's kind of coming up to your prime years, 21, 22, where you should be playing regular first team football. That's just my opinion, guys.
Yeah, Mick, just to get back a little bit to my point about we have no plan. For example, we lent out Alex Tuansebe to Aston Villa. He had a great season playing for Aston Villa. And we just took him back, but we haven't had a plan for him. We didn't play him at all. We could have easily just sold him to Aston Villa for 20 million and got some money at least. But we didn't. And now we're giving him away for free this season because his contract is ending. And I feel it's a little bit the same with Mengi. We don't have a plan. We don't free up space. We don't sell out the fourth choice center backs or fifth choice center back and reserve a spot for him.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I would like to see him play.
Yeah. Okay. Well, time is ticking of its essence. We've been running the stream for 1 hour and 17. I want to touch base on Alvaro Fernandez. Brilliant left back. Don't know much about him. He's what I hear, and he's 20 years of age, Espanol. Very technical player, very good on going forward, very good defensively as well. We are stacked already with Luke Shaw, with what's his name? God, he's late, man. Malaysia, not Singapore, Malaysia. But Alvaro Fernandez, guys, what's your take on it? I don't know much about
Mick,
him.
I'm gonna have to leave you in this point. Okay, it's getting quite late.
Right, buddy.
Fernandez, I don't know enough about him to go into a deep conversation, but I will say one thing: Gerard Piqué under Ferguson, we had Gerard Piqué and we Paul McShane understudies to Jaap Stam and Ferdinand. Obviously, Paul McShane was a journeyman pro, and we didn't give Gerard Piqué enough game time, and ultimately Piqué went back to Barcelona. So I think right now this lad is 18. He can play left back, left mid, left wing. I think sit him out of the championship side for a season, see what he's made of, let him develop physically, and then bring him back next off season, take a look at him, and then make a call. And the Jarvis last point, regarding Swansea. It's a great point. He was at Aston Villa, had a pretty good season, was worth 15, 20 million. We could have cashed in, sold the chap then, but instead we brought him back and his contract ran down. So I think we're very poor thus far at developing new team players to a point where they're worth money, and then knowing the point where, okay, this chap is not going to be first choice, second choice, third choice. It's time to move him on. I think historically we've been very poor at that, and I'm hoping that going forward that will change under Ten Hag.
Hopefully. Before you go, Alien Tenno is agreeing with you, saying that Fergie was letting Piqué too early was a mistake. That was a big mistake, and we all seen it, how it happened. But big up for you for coming in today, Jay, as well. I know it's late where you are. You got to wake up early in the morning. Just smash the like, people, for Jay Daly, and hopefully we see you next week as well, mate.
See you soon. Good night.
See you, mate. See you. Good night. Well, Jarvis, it's only me and you because they left. Everyone left us high and dry here, man.
The two amigos.
The two amigos back on track. Well.
Yeah, I just want to come back to one point with Jay. He said that they need to develop his physicality. That's not entirely true when it comes to Alvaro Fernandez, because he's very well developed physically. He's one of the youngsters who can come up and do a job right now. As I see it, he was loaned out to Preston North End last season. He played in the Championship. He played really well. He had I think he had 5-6 goal contributions with goals and assists in that season, and he was named Player of the Season for Preston North End.
There you go.
Yeah, I think he's a really good talent, but what we have discussed now, do we have a plan for him? Why are we taking him back? If we take him back to sit on the bench and never get game time, maybe it's better just to sell him or loan him out to a Premier League club next season, as we have mentioned.
The judge and jury will be out at the end of the day. So you know what? It comes down to one point only, and only Ten Hag knows best. This is, Ten Hag's Old Trafford. That's what it is. We can just have an opinion. If you were Ten Hag, what would you do? And it's been so important as an educational purpose to give you a little bit of insights about these youngsters, upcoming gems, right? We often talk about the ins, who we should be buying. Why are we spending so much money? Well, you actually have free talent sitting on the bench that could be utilized. You might get in 3-4 players this summer, but you back them up with youngsters as an understudies as well. This is more astute. Alvaro Fernandez to go on another loan, I don't know. Depends on what Ten Hag is wanting and thinking. That's my opinion as well. So that comes just to Hodometer, Jarvis. Yeah. We are all alone. There's nobody to give us a Hodometer, but this is where
we have all the people in the chat. We're not alone. There's a lot of people watching.
All right, let's do this. Yeah. Let's do this Hodometer. Right? Okay, it comes down to the player rating chance in a way. Now it's only you and me, Jarvis. And the VR room. Guys, you're very important here. Blink, blink, wonk, wonk, honk, honk, whatever you want to do. I want your opinion as well. We presented you with Amad Diallo, Facundo Palestri, Kobe Maino, Teddy Mengi, Alvaro Fernandez, and Isak Hansen. But we also forgot to mention 2 other players, Jarvis, didn't we?
Yeah, I think the honorable mentions is Charlie McNeil. The story with McNeil, he came from the Man City Academy. We stole him from the Man City Academy, and he was a prolific goal scorer. I heard rumors about he scored about almost 600 goals from the age of 14 until 16 or 17 or something before we got him. So he knows how to score goals. It's insane how much goals he scores. But he
Blue Moon knows about him, right?
Yeah. So Charlie McNeil, maybe he will get the chance if we don't get in a second striker. If we sell Martial, only get Højlund in and play with Rashford and Højlund. Some games we can chuck Charlie McNeil in, and he will get the game time. So
yeah, he fell off the cliff there. Apparently.
Yeah. So maybe Charlie McNeil could be one of the guys who will get a chance on the Ten Hag next season. And the other one I have been thinking of is Matej Kovar. You know, the goalkeeper. He's really tall. I think he's 196. I don't know what's that in 6 foot 3, 6 foot 4.
6'4" or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And I have been watching him. He played for Sparta Prague last season. He played almost a full season for the title-winning team in Czechoslovakia. And you know, he's a young goalkeeper. He's 23 years of age, but he's very mature in his style. You know, his positioning play is extremely good, and he's not stressing. He's not like doing
Okay.
showboating saves. He
Okay.
stands. He holds his spot.
Fantastic insights, guys. Sorry, we couldn't cover them all. That will take like, you know, a mega stream. Like it would be like you know, Martin Scorsese 3-hour movie. We don't want that. So Box is saying Pellistri, he gives him 85% chance to stay. Amad Diallo 75%. Maino 70%. Fernandez 75%. Kovar 70%. So basically, keep all the kids. 10 kids, guys. Kovar is very liked. Kovar would be a very good good one, according to Mohammed as well. Guys, 24-hour stream. Here we go. That's what Yali Malin is saying. Whoa, 24 hours. I have a back problem, so do you, Jarvis. Come on, man. We're too old
we
for
can do it, Mick. We can do it.
We can do it. We can do this. Good all-round play. So what's your score? Like, you know, what would you take on, you know, you personally? Like, you know, if we go back to the big screen again, like, you know, if you can see it, you're getting old, Jarvis.
Yeah. My eyesight isn't what it used to be, so I have to like change. Sometimes I see better without, sometimes I see better with.
People in the chat room, VR room, drop your likes, drop your comments. What is your percentage like, so we can shout it out as well. Jarvis, I give it back to you.
Yeah, when it comes to percentage, Facundo Pellistri, he will get game time next season. Without a doubt. He's the
you don't have to give percentage, but you can say like yes, no, he will give. Right?
Yeah. Pellistri, he will get game time. Ahmad, if he stays, he will get game time. Yeah, without a doubt. Isaac, no. Kobe Maino, no. Ted Mengi, no. Alvaro Fernandez, I'm on the fence with him. It depends. It depends. But I don't think he will get game time. That's just my gut feeling.
No, he's a talent, 100%. Me personally, I'm at 100%. Yes, I see him. I want him. I'm intrigued. The same with Pellistri. I'm very intrigued. The glimpses that I've seen, you know, knowing that he's that little dancer, right? A little Messi-esque, something that we really, really need, sort of to short passes, running behind, those kind of things that we miss. Ted and Mengi, depending on Maguire, that's the thing. So I would see that in that case, if Maguire goes, he will be the understudy, the fourth or fifth choice of centre back. Why not? Alvaro Fernandez, I think it will be a loan, to be honest. Kobe Maino, I think he will stay as an understudy. Isaac Hansen, I see him going on a loan. That's what I believe. Anyway, going back to the VR on what people are saying, Simon Heron is saying Pellistri, Ahmad, and Maino. That's for me. The rest will go on loan. Let's see. Johnny Marlin Maino is maybe for me. There is a chance of, depends on what we get for DM or not.
Yeah.
Ahmad keeps, as people saying. What else did I miss? Onana, Heaton, Kovar would be a good goalkeeping department. Yes. Depends on, like, you know, if we get Onana, we have Keaton as number 2, and then maybe Kovar would be the number 3.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Anyway,
that's a possibility. But I think Heaton is good enough to be our second goalkeeper. You know, we had a game or two last season when he came in. He looks confident when he plays, and you know he's experienced. So yeah, give him a chance.
Yeah, a lot of people want to have Ahmad to stay. That's just a breaking news from Dimarzio now from Mo Hamza. It's a big up to community. Manchester United will arrive in the next few days between fixed and bonuses for 52 million euros for Andre Onana. Get in, because I always thought it's going to end up on that, you know, a fixed variable plus some bonuses, right? They need the money. That's the thing. 50 million. So they're basically going in and improve with 2 million. What's 2 million extra? They need to resolve this goalkeeping situation ASAP. You know, what are other
Di
people
Marzio
saying?
is quite credible when it comes to Italian football. He's one of
God,
those
Box.
guys.
I hope I read this comment from Box. Lingard as a free agent. Should we bring him back? No. Enough of moonwalking on Emirates. Mr. Shaktak saying 50-50 for Maino keep could definitely benefit from a loan Premo Championship. Isak, not ready yet. Could do a loan. He set bench and deserves quite a bit. Yeah, true. They need to playing time. They need to maybe go to Eredivisie, like you utilize the farming with Utrecht and stuff like that. That seems to be the Ten Hag's connection. Anyway, people, it's been a fantastic show today, Jarvis. A little bit unusual, but I'm happy. Hope you guys are happy too.
I enjoyed it. I think we had fun. I like talking about the youngsters. You know, I followed the youngsters especially because I always had interest in what's behind the star players and who can we get. You know, Isaac.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm sorry, Edward Reed, as well. Like, you know, you made a comment and I just had to read it out there because this show was nothing personal, but this is already pre-made content, like, you know, and what we're trying to do is be a little bit different. Like, you know, it's boring and depressing sometimes to speak about the takeover. I don't want to mention the takeover. I don't want to talk about the spin on the transfer. So basically, to ease your mind of something else, like, you know, to talk about the future, the stars that nobody talks about. At the end of the day, it's part of the transfer. It's part of the transfer because we don't know Eriktenhag's plans. It's not always about buying this expensive players that you want, right? The big shiny toys that we are used to be spoiled with because they don't serve any purpose. We've seen that movie before, right? We purchased player that didn't work. Di Maria. We bought this piano player, the most expensive from Sancho. We got conned. You know, we paid $500,000 a week for him to play piano, and that's gone, man. The Galacticos is gone. So the way forward is to go back the old ways. Like, if you're good enough, you're old enough. That's the mantra. This Manchester United, if you remember, Charlie's.
Yeah.
That is Manchester United. So I'm excited with this season. You know, get a few players, like fill that. We need the attacking, right? We didn't speak about Mason Greenwood. That's the thing. I don't want to speak about Mason Greenwood today, but it's still a young squad. Still, because we still have some aging players in there. Casemiro cannot play, like, you know, every 90 minutes every game. He's approaching 30s, right? Or is it 31 this year?
I think he's 31.
Yeah, 31. Still a couple more years, but still, as you're aging as a midfielder, like, you know, midfield is very hard. Did you used to play as a midfielder?
I used to play as a midfielder, yeah.
You know, this is the hardest position on the pitch. Because if you're box to box, you're running back and forward, back and forward. If you're striker, you're just standing there waiting for the ball. If you're defender, you're just defending, right? That's it. But midfielder, that's the engine. You know, that's the pistons going up and down, up and down, up and down. So that's why I'm looking at Amrabat, for instance. So that's why I'm looking to bring in a, you know, Ted and Mengi or Kobe Maino, in certain ways, because you got to sort of prepare the youngsters for the succession rule as well. And that's what's kind of the purpose of this presentation and show, guys. Yeah. I had fun. Hope you did too. What's your VR guys saying there? Was good night? Yeah, you like 75 likes, people. 75 likes. We slaved in this kitchen today. Heartbreaking hotel. Anyway,
thank you for the 75 people who liked the show. Thank you very much.
But please, that is most important. It's not about getting up to 100. It's always awesome to present unique content, but it's very also important that, you know, for you who hasn't subscribed yet, please help us to reach the 15K. I think we're about 200 people away, and this channel is about to turn 1 year in 2 days. 1 year since I started this channel, and 15Ks. Yeah. So if I can have 15Ks as a birthday present, that'd be so sweet. Anyway, good job for everyone. Good job for the VR room. Good job for interacting with all of us. It's been a blast. And Jarvis is going off traveling.
Yeah, this will
Tell
be
us
my
about the
last
plan.
show in a couple of days. I'm leaving for the United States on Friday morning, so but I will do some shows from the States. I will travel around, so you will see Jarvis US tour.
Yeah. Why don't you take a few, like, photos while you're traveling? Like, hey, this is Jarvis on the road trip, Jarvis, right?
I will. I will. I will. That would be cool.
We can post it up as shorts. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Peace, love, and go bananas. We had our say, and it's time for you to have a good night. And we give you back the night or day. Jarvis, thank you so much, and wish you safe travels, my friend.
Thank you.
And I have nothing more to say than a lot of love and respect for all of you in this community. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button as well. If you hit that notification button, you will always get updates when a live show is coming up. When I'm posting a quick video, you won't miss it. No, Jarvis, don't go. Oh, baby, please don't go. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Tenno is crying. What else do we have? Talk to us before we lose Jarvis for good.
With famous
Baby,
words
don't
from
have-
Jonathan Ball.
Yeah. Don't leave
Love,
us.
peace, and bananas.
Yeah, but it's not goodbye. We're not seeing Jarvis on Friday. Contemplating to take a break tomorrow, by the way, before we go at different time, basically 1 hour earlier. It's a special. We have Alice Talks Football and myself on. So it's going to be very interesting. It's basically called Living Next Door to Alice. It's basically me as a new kid on the block growing up. And we are working at the same content creators, but as a collaboration, it's just good to bring on somebody that has about 60,000 subs and have an interview, have a little bit laugh and banter and talk about certain things. So it's going to be interesting. Tomorrow, it's going to be 9 o'clock UK time. So 1 hour earlier. So please hit that notification button and we look forward to see you there. Until then, it's been Mick Ruby with Jay Daly that came in and Power Hour botswanapapi that disappeared with a bad connection, and Jarvis as well. Say hello to your family, Jarvis, and have a safe flight as well and a good trip, Jarvis. Guys, we love you all. Thank you. Peace, love, and God bless. Peace, love, and bananas. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Good night.
Peace.
Good night. Peace. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Release TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.